Two MLU insiders, bringing you hard analysis of everything that happens on the field. This is the John and Greg Show.
We're here with Joe Smash Anderson, number 21 of New York Rumble. Joe, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Good
man.
to see you.
Absolutely.
So we're talking a little Rumble earlier on the show, and obviously last year, big disappointment for you guys. All the hype, all the expectations, and then really just kind of almost a disaster season in a lot of senses.
It's called what it is.
Yeah. What are you guys looking for this year to turn that around and get back to playing at the level that you guys were accustomed to?
I think it all starts with just an overall sense of camaraderie. Like we just all need to really just be on the same page again, and really just take last season as a humbling moment and just come back. You know, I think that New York is very talented, and I just think we need to do better with teamwork, honestly.
So we knew that talent, pretty early on. We could see it on the roster, but in a season that again, it was a disappointment for everyone involved. For us, I think that we said that Coach Anthony Nunez would say this too, but that your defensive play was really one of the bright spots of the season, and how strong you brought it from game one to the last game of the season. So how about for you, in your mind, what are you most proud of as an individual player from last year, and then also what's the silver lining from last season for you?
For me individually, I guess the best part for me was being able to go after the best players. I felt very strong against almost everybody. I had to guard Muffin 4 times. I had to guard Petey Proud. He's like LeBron. So these guys are not easy to defend. So just to get that kind of respect and to hold these people to less than superstar numbers is a real big achievement to me. The second big achievement is really our young players. I was on first team all defense, but Quinn and Marquez, 20 years old, or going on 7 years old, is also on the first all defense team. Yeah. So it's I took a lot of pride in that, because that's my defense, and I took a lot of pride in when my young players develop, and those are upcoming superstars. So I'm really proud of them.
Yeah. We just talked about the whole defense as a whole. I think is the bright spot that you can take, especially the young guys stepping up. And I know your focus is primarily defense, but what do you think the team is focused on offensively to help you guys be more effective and be on the field more often?
I think, again, I think it starts with the sort of handler play. I think it was something the statistics said that our handlers account for something like 45% of all of our scores or anything like that. I think that we need to figure out the scheme, whether we're going to continue to be more handler oriented, and then those turnovers need to drop, or we need to be more cutter oriented, and we need to spread the ball out a little more.
Do you think that there was a difficulty offensively last year, just with the wealth of talent that you guys had, in figuring out how those pieces best went together?
No, I actually think I was really surprised, because I think that every offense needs a couple of things. You need the starting point guard. You need the reliable off handler. I think you need I guess what we would call the red one cutter, which is the first guy out of whatever scheme.
Right.
We need the guy who's going to get the ball in the in cut, and you need a deep threat. And we had multiple people for all those positions, people who were very talented.
Right.
Honestly, again, it goes back to my original point about the teamwork and just being able to be about the same page just across the board.
Consistency seemed to be an issue for you guys last year, in terms of, it seemed like some weeks you guys are throwing out a completely different roster than other weeks. I think, was it the Boston game where you guys lost really badly, was maybe 18 guys?
That was a tough week. I take responsibility. I wasn't there that day either. So as a captain, that falls on me, because attendance is part. You can't contribute if you're not there. So,
right.
that's that's personal responsibility, and we say that from day one. You know, you got to be there. You got to be there at practice. You got to be there at the games on time. And you got to be prepared to do it for the name in the front, not the name in the back. So again, it's the consistency. It's a mindset. It's a focus, and sometimes it's something that you can't teach. You know, you can give all the pregame huddles and speeches and long emails that you want. It's about heart at the end of the day. So it's whether you want to bring it or not.
So I know that near the end of the year, we had a chat with Anthony Nunez about, you know, defensively with trapping, how he felt that you guys had figured it out near the end of the season, and I feel like I'm sure you were a big part of that. Could you walk through what kind of clicked for you guys on D?
For me, when it comes to trapping, I guess my particular trapping scheme, I figured out when I was playing with the Constitution. So the trapping scheme is usually like backside traps. You shouldn't be able to see it coming. So it's very opportunistic. It's a thing. Again, sometimes we say you have to just follow your heart on defense. There are lots of times where on film, you know, I got lucky because I've taken chances that I didn't get burned on. But you have to take chances because on defense it's about creating opportunities. Sometimes with some of these offenses out here, sometimes you don't get any opportunities. So you have to be able to really put yourself out there. And with the blindside traps, we were able to frustrate a lot of people, especially towards the end. You know, me and Lucas, you know, I've been playing with that guy for forever. I think one of our favorite games was playing against Kolick, you know, Mr. MVP. We're talking smack to him the entire game. And we got a couple of turnovers out of it, or one of them that should have been a turnover because Wodach is bigger than everybody. So it's, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm always on my Rex Ryan. I'm always trying to get some new schemes defensively, and, you know, trapping is just one of those things that I really love about the professional game.
Who in your mind is the most difficult cover in the league?
Oh, it's Petey Proud. It's not even close. It really is. It'll be Petey Proud, and then it'll be Kolick. Kolick is tough just because it's really tough to cover resets.
Right.
The hardest
person,
so that's tough. When you're downfield, it has to be Petey Proud. The hardest person to actually mark, like on the mark, is probably Muffin. Like it's just really scary because you have to really be true to your scheme, and you have to be very disciplined because the moment you think you're going to overcommit, he's very smart. He'll step around or he's gonna let it fly on you. So those three people come to mind. I have to be extremely disciplined. You know, I watch a lot of film, way more than most people. So those are the three hardest people easily to guard.
Malachek's the development in his game from when I first started watching him a few years ago, just such a totally complete player now. Just amazing what he's been able to do. And he is really, he's got all the throws and he's reined himself in, which is the impressive thing to me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have always, you know, he's always gotten a lot of flack for, sort of just being confident, and I appreciate that. I think more people just need to say that they're the best. And he challenges a lot of defenders, and I've seen him torch a lot of really good defenders, and I think he's pretty good.
He's a fun guy to watch.
Yeah.
How about on your team?
On my team, who's the
Toughest
hardest person
guy
to defend? I don't know. I talk a lot of smack to these guys, so it's just like I tell them every single day. I'm like, I'll have all y'all on lock. If I'm looking, I would actually probably have to say either Jack Marsh or T Lake. David Vukovic.
He was very impressive last year.
Yeah,
definitely as advertised.
He's definitely one of the more underrated players in New York. I don't know. Y'all need to get on y'all podcast about that man. But he's pretty tough because he makes really smart cuts, but he's also in really great shape, and he keeps running. And afterwards, if there is a turn, he's a very, very capable. He probably could be first team all defense if he wanted to. He was a defender when he first came to New York City, and I was captain of Pony. He was my number one defender on the team. So that makes it very difficult when somebody's going to be physical with you on the offensive end, because usually offensive guys are pretty prissy and they don't want to touch you at all. But he's not one of those guys. So I think just overall.
He's a
like,
real New York City style player.
He could say that. I don't know. New York is a little different now than it was when I was coming up in the game. But yeah, you know, he's pretty tough. He's a tough guy.
So I think that you have, you know, you talked about T-League being underrated.
Yes.
I think that you last year with your play, everybody finally started to really like appreciate just how strong of a defender you are. You know, how does that make you feel to be finally getting those accolades, you know, on you know, coming at you from every angle, from, you know, your opponents, from us guys talking about you on podcasts? How does that make you feel to be so well respected in this game right now?
It feels great, but honestly, it's long overdue because I've been strong for a while, and it's just nice that, you know, people can appreciate that stuff. It's really interesting. Like, you know, when I go to other tournaments and I'm talking to some of these other top players, you know, they show me that love, and they're like, wow, like, you know, like, I really see you. You're really doing your thing, and, you know, it's nice because you know, defense just doesn't get that love, you know, like
right.
there are times where I'm at home and I'm just like, you know, damn, like if I was on offense, you know, maybe it'd be a little different. But it's not the same, you know. I have to be true to myself. I'm a defender, and you know, it is nice, you know. I have to admit it really is nice. It is long overdue.
So we'll leave you with one last question before you get back to practice. That guy is really screaming.
Guys are going hard out here with the regular football.
Give us a name of a guy that we might not know about that we need to keep an eye on today. Or in general, as the tryout process goes on.
I mean, another person who people should really be looking out for is Ignacio Ease. I mean, he's another guy. We both went to high school together. Right. I've been playing with him since I was 14 years old. He has not gotten the love that he absolutely deserves. I mean, I think that I don't know whether it's you or some guys where they were like, oh, like if he played just as many points as, like, you know, our other starters did, he might have been like top 10 in the league in something in points. The guy is torching people. So if you're ever wanting to see somebody who's going to be fun, it's going to be that guy, because I mean, he'll sky most people.
Literally threw a disc out of the stadium last year.
That was easily one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen.
That was the best band that was given out all year last year.
Yeah,
I think the refs were laughing about it too. Like,
it's hard not to. It's hard not to. They need to give out more technical fouls too. They slacked on that. The first year there was a lot, and then there was not as many. So I guess I'm gonna have to talk more smack to the refs.
All right, well, go have some fun, Joe. Thanks for coming on the show.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks a ton.
Thank you. Peace out, y'all.
Have a great tryout, great season.